just going to teach you a few short exercises, and these exercises movements are to help you experience how Pilates is about control of movement, and it's that is your real sense of your core connection versus bracing, squeezing, fixing, being still or stiff. So we're going to look at a few simple movements that will really make you feel like you've woken up your whole body, because that's your whole core, everything is involved. And yeah, we're going to start. So you start sitting with your legs in what we call a Z sit. So you've got one leg bent in front, one leg bent behind. So it's like from cross-legged to one behind. And you're going to sit as tall as you possibly can. Feel like you're sitting against an imaginary wall behind you, and then we're going to do some mermaids. So you reach your arms out to the side like you're being pulled in both directions through your hands. And feel how that creates even more lift through your spine. Your pelvis has got roots, so your bottom has roots going down beneath you into your mat. Then we're going to go towards the leg that's folded in front. So we're going to go to that side and take a big stretch over. Push on the hand on the floor to come all the way back up. And then we go the other way in a counter stretch. So you've got one arm going back the way you just came from and reaching over. And then you unfold that, and like you're going to go into a cartwheel, you come over. Push down to come up. Counter stretch the other way. Now your shoulder blades are moving all of the time as you do this. So you're not fixing your shoulder blades, they're going to move around your ribs to allow you to do this movement. Now this time we're going to go over towards that leg and stay there. You're going to breathe into the side of your body, the whole of this side where your ribs are. There we go. Keep breathing deeply here. I know you were probably thinking, oh, I wasn't breathing before. Well, that's okay. When we're learning things, sometimes we're holding our breath until we get more confident with what we're doing. Okay, relax a tiny little bit, like you're going to come out of it, but don't completely come out of it. And now you're going to rotate. So that just means twist and turn your shoulders and ribs and chest to face the mat and put your hand on the floor. And we're going to stay here and breathe. Breathing now into the back of your body, expanding your ribs out behind you like curtains are opening into the back of your body. And then from here, bend your elbows and press up. Bend your elbows and press up. As you're going down, think of the scruff of your neck being lifted up like a mother cat picking up the kitten by the scruff of its neck, so that you're not doing like a pigeon or a turkey movement with your head coming forwards as you go down. You're keeping your head in line. Now we're going to bend and stay there. So you bend your elbows, your collarbones are wide like you're smiling across the front of your chest, and your back leg is going to do what's called the fire hydrant. So it's going to lift and lower. You keep your elbows bent and you lift and lower. You're looking at the floor, your neck is long, and yes, don't forget to breathe. And maybe your leg doesn't even want to lift, but you can imagine that it's lifting. Think about it lifting, and eventually, through practice, you will have the range and the control of that range to lift. Twice more, once more, leg down, straighten your arms, de-rotate into that lovely mermaid, and then come all the way up. So hopefully you feel like you have woken up lots of different areas of your body, your hip for sure and your spine. So remember, we fold the leg behind, reach your arms out, and we do have the other side to do. I know it's always shocking when you feel you've done something and then we have to do it on the other side. Imagine you're being pulled in both directions with your hands and just that side wins. And then you push down through that hand to come up, and the other hand goes back the way you just came. So you've got the two-way stretch. Reaching out like you're about to cartwheel over, coming over. Now check your shoulder here. Is this shoulder nearest the floor? Is it in your ear or is it away from your ear? It's important that it goes down and the other one's coming up to create that lovely opening through your ribs so that you can breathe well and freely, so your spine can move under control, and each time you can go a wee bit further, little bit further. That's it. And then this time you go over, stay over, and breathe here. So you're sending the floor away if you can with that hand on the floor, and breathing all the way around this side, that top side. I like to use the image of a balloon, like you're inflating a balloon underneath your ribs, because you can then get the sense of the three-dimensional feeling of your breath. Sometimes we can really be very like front and back, you know, we're working at desks, we're driving cars, we're doing things that's just forward and back, and these side bends and rotations are vital to our spine and core health. So then you slacken off a wee bit, and then you turn your shoulders to face the mat, so your chest is turned, your shoulders have turned, and you're breathing into the back here. So you can use the image of your balloon again and get right into sort of bra strap height. That's where you focus your breath. Deep breaths. And then we start to bend and stretch. So you bend your elbows, and your hand can be slightly in front of your knee, so you've got one elbow bending behind and one in front. Bending and stretching. Now, we said on the other side about the scruff of your neck, we don't even realise we're doing it, but we're letting our head fall off. And that's just not a good idea. So keep that, exaggerate it almost, that feeling like the scruff of your neck is being pulled to the ceiling as you are going down. So you don't turkey neck and take your head down, you actually delay your head as you're going down. And then keep your elbows bent, stay there, and lift and lower your back leg. So you've got your elbows bent, scruff of your neck lifting, and you are lifting and lowering your back leg. Lifting and lowering. So this is that fire hydrant. The whole leg lifts, the whole leg lowers. And your bottom leg is important too, because that's your standing leg. If you were stood up and you lifted one foot off the floor, you want to be sure you were standing firmly on the standing leg. Now be aware here that this leg might start to drift forwards to make it a little bit easier on you. Let's not do that. Let's keep it here in that range of movement where you've really got to control it. Your elbows are still bent, collarbones are still smiling, the scruff of your neck is still lifted. You're doing great. Let's do two more. Keep breathing and smiling. It makes it easier, I promise. Leg down, straighten your arms, come back into your mermaid, and then sit tall. Great job. So then we're going to come to sitting for what's called the half roll back. This is a beautiful exercise for wakening up your lower abdominal muscles and your inner thighs, and also to get you out of that sitting posture and open up the front of your hips. So you've got your legs married together as one, and your feet together as well. Your hands are going to stay behind your thighs for right now, and your feet need to be active. So when you push your feet, it rolls your pelvis back. The movement is not hunching your shoulders. I know, it's okay, everybody does it that way the first time. You're going to keep your collarbone smiling and do it from down here. So imagine that you're at, I don't know, the school where they teach you how to walk and you have a book on your head. Imagine you've got a book on your head and you're keeping that book reaching up as you roll your pelvis back. So this bottom part moves away from your legs whilst you still really keep lengthening up through your hips, pushing firmly there. Now, that might be where you're at and you're happy with that, holding onto your legs. You can take your hands out and hold your hands and do it here. So we're making it just a little bit more challenging, and I saw my knees wanted to drift, so make sure you keep your knees together as you do that's a variation if you're doing it. So your pelvis, this bit here, is moving away from your legs. So you're opening at the front of your hips. You're not holding on. You don't stay bent at the front of your hips. You roll back. It's a very different feeling. Let's go one more time. You're doing amazing. We're throwing lots of fun things at you. And then we're going to roll over. So you're going to come onto your front, and we're going to do what's called the dart. And this is going to help you to open up across your chest and find your control when you're lying on your front. So your arms come down to your side, your head is turned to one side. And just shimmy your pelvis out so there's no tension through your bottom or your lower back. The back of your shoulders start lifting to the ceiling. So you can think about the front of your shoulders lifting off the floor, and then your hands lift and your head comes to the middle. You're going to stay in this position. This is the shape of a dart. Think about yourself shooting forward. So the crown of your head is shooting forward, looking straight down at the mat, and you're going to pulse your arms. So they press up, press up, press up. And you're pressing the ceiling away with the back of your upper arms, not with your hands. It's not wet fish on the end of your arms. You're really keeping strong through your hands and strong through your arms, pressing up. Just check that you've not started to clench your bottom. That's not necessary. You're long and low, just hovering off of the mat. Twice more. And rest there. Well done. So that was the dart. Coming on to all fours now. So we're in all fours. You've got your hands under your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. So that means your knees will be wider than your hips. And you're going to sink your chest down and lift your chest up. Your head's going to go with your chest to go down and with your chest to come up. Sinking down and up. Great movement to do if you've been sat at a desk all day. Easing out your shoulders. Your spine is long. You've not got your bottom tucked in. It's long. And then find the middle spot between those two extremes where your shoulder blades are just hugging your ribs, nice and spacious. Tuck your toes under. Going to do something called knee hovers. So this is the ultimate kind of control. Can you, by standing into your toes and your hands, hover your knees an inch off of your mat without anything changing? So without tucking your pelvis under, without arching your back, can you maintain and just come up and hold? And you're going to keep holding that. You're going to make sure that you're pushing into your feet and pushing into your hands equally, not one more than the other. Continue breathing. Crown of your head reaching forward, tailbone reaching back. No changes. You're still breathing. And then slowly lower your knees down. And that's where we're going to finish our little mini intro to the control of movement element of Pilates, that it's not fixing and holding, that we've got to have lots and lots of movement, and we're designed to have lots of movement, and control is really just the control of all of our ranges of movement. So you can keep doing this class as often as you like, and I look forward to hearing your feedback. Take care everyone, bye.